Man, if y'all didn't show up for that training today, you sleep. You sleep. Don't be asleep. There's a lot of value dropped just in the first session, and we still got 4 more sessions to go. We still have 2 more speakers to come, and we might be adding even more speakers. Jerry should be joining me in a second, but Jerry went over a few principles. He talked about the fundamentals of the stock market. He talked about the different risk factors that are involved in the stock market. Talked about strategies for trading, developing an edge, things that have worked for him, things that have not worked for him, and really streamlining the process for a lot of people. So a lot of us, we get out here and we think that we can Google our way to success. And if you're going to Google your way to success, you'd already been successful. So I saw a really good quote on that, the whole Googling thing. But like the downside of Googling is you're going to spend a bunch of time trying to figure out what's right. You're going to spend a bunch of time trying to piece it all together. And that is wasted time and effort. Your effort should be on executing, not based on figuring out what to execute on. And then also not even having confidence on the information that you're taking in, because when you're just guessing and you're kind of scrambling around, just chasing this massive information out there, because there's a ton of information out there, then you got to try to piece it all together, and so you're going to lose the confidence piece. So we're lending you our confidence. We're lending you our experience and our expertise. Let me go ahead and add them in here. It's not letting me do it for some reason. Go ahead and hit that plus sign. Go ahead and hit that plus sign, and we'll add you in. Turn my light on in my office. Boom. But yeah, really cool stuff going on right now. Of course, the stock market is closed today because it is a holiday, but that doesn't mean you should not be studying. That does not mean that you should yourself. That does not mean that you should not be using this time to your advantage. No days off, no days to rest, none of that stuff. How you doing, sir?
What's going on? How you doing, Todd?
Good, good. You got the full suit on, man. Every time you want a suit. Nothing wrong with that. I'm a suit person myself.
Yeah, I always try to wear a suit, man, every day, man. Whenever I wake up, I try to throw one on.
Can you tell the people who you are, man? Tell the people who might not know. I mean, you have a pretty large following. You've created some really cool groups. But who are you, brother?
Well, I'm Jerry Campbell. I've been a professional trader for around about 15 years now. I'm the president of Black Authors Network. I'm the president of Black Podcast Network. And I have a group also called Prosper University. So it goes like this. I'm trying to go after my new skills, new you. So it's prosper, prosper you to prosper you. So it's going to be something like that, So Prosper University, it has some mass following. I joined this mastermind, man. He's just been knocking it out the park. Telling me to put content out there. So I've been putting that content out there, and he's just been, man, it's been going crazy. It's been going amazing. But I've been trading for 15 years, and when I started trading, it was at the beginning of the financial crash. I didn't even know it. But I started off in currency trading, but then I went to stocks, and I took my whole refund check in 2008, fall 2008, and put it into the stock market, thinking that it was going to do something. And as soon as I put it into the stock market, of course, it came back. It hit me really bad, and I was kind of mad at the stock market for a while, so I didn't do it. But I was graduating in finance, so I told myself, I'm taking this investments class while I'm in college, and I said I'm going to continue to invest because I know my teacher told me that I got to continue to invest. So what I did was I looked at Warren Buffett, and he, Warren Buffett was saying, do this, do this, do this, do that, and I was like, you know what? He's telling me to get into the stock market right now, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to believe him. So I seen Citigroup that was $1, but I noticed that everybody was talking about the banks being bailed out. So I was like, okay, what is this bailout? While people are mad that something is going on and they're pointing their fingers, that's when you need to look, and you need to say, okay, how can I develop the opportunity around it? How can I actually gain some money around it? Instead of being mad at it while people are pointing fingers, okay, how can I gain the opportunity? How can I make some money off of this? So I bought Citigroup at $1. I bought like 500 shares. Ended up going to like 500. It ended up going to like $45 per share, and I was able to, buy houses. And I
So
mean,
how much money? Because you bought 500 shares at $1, it went to $45, $50, and so you're
mhm.
taking 50 times 500. How much was the profit? How much was that profit?
It was crazy, man. You know, when I bought a house, I don't I don't really even remember how much the profit was, but I know when I took it out, it was in the thousands. It was something I had never seen.
My math says it's about $20,000, $25,000.
Yeah, it was something I had never seen before. So I was able to take that, and I was able to invest that profit and flip another house. I actually flipped a house to my cousin, and it was in East Nashville. And man, we were doing deals. He was a this how good the deal I gave him. He was able to take my deal and quit going to a job clocking $1. So he was able to take that deal and like flip his house, and I was able to take the flip that I flipped to him and go and buy my own house. By the age of 25, I'm not a smart guy. It's just the opportunities that you get, the opportunities that you see. You have to go ahead and pull the trigger on the opportunities. Because like I said, the word I always go based off of this investment principle. Is all biblically based to me, because I'm a Bible type person. The word says, "Sow your seed in the morning, not withhold your hand in the evening," because you don't know whether this or that will work out. So I've been doing that for a while. I've just been sowing my seed, making sure that my seed wasn't been tainted. I'm always looking for good ground where I can put my investments into, and that's it, man.
Yeah.
That's how I got started off. That's what I've been doing. I became a real estate agent. After that, I worked for a nonprofit organization, which was in real estate, and then I became a professional trader after that.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I tell people, or one of the things that I've discovered, is you don't have to stay a stock market trader or investor, but it helps to get started growing your small money into large money through the stock market, especially with stock options. And
Yeah,
there's not too many opportunities out there where you can turn $100 into $1,000, or $1,000 into 10,000 or 20,000.
yeah,
Stock market, people are doing it every day, and we live in an era where most people don't have $1,000. Most
yeah,
people paycheck to paycheck, and you're not going to work yourself into getting $20,000, especially if you barely have enough money to even make it to the next payday.
yeah,
So what you should be doing is taking that money, the little maybe nuggets that you have, and let's start actually looking at some opportunities in the stock market, so that then you can get to the opportunities in real estate, or buying a business, or buying a truck, or doing all those different things, or buying an Airbnb that are going to create that consistent cash flow. So you don't necessarily have to be like super on top of the market at all times. But
yeah,
there's not too many opportunities out there that are going to allow you to take your small $100, $200, and turn it into something that's going to allow you to have a seat at the table, because it takes money to sit at these tables.
it's money. It takes money for opportunity, and that's what I said on Profit UNV, Prosper UNV, the other day. The girl was like, "Man, you can't save money and then become a millionaire." I said, "Yeah, you can." You know why? Because it takes money to get into opportunity. If you don't have the money, then you lose the opportunity cost. So when you have the money to put into these investments, there's investments that come up every day that a lot of people are not pulling the trigger on.
Yeah.
Think about it. There's stocks right now. There's there's stocks, number one. There's options, number two. There's currency that's always going. You know what I'm saying? There's there's all these different markets. There's real estate that you could be buying. But guess what? You don't have the money to put yourself in that position to buy it. So you're losing that opportunity every day when you don't have the money. And
Right.
that's one thing that we have to develop in our mindset. Okay, how can I get money even faster so I can create these opportunities? The world wants you to be a billionaire. It wants you to be a billionaire. However, you have to make sure that you're pulling the trigger on all the opportunities that drop into your lap. And that's why I said sow the seed in the morning, not withhold your hand in the evening, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You sow the seed. Once the opportunity comes to you, you sow the seed. You buy into it, and then that's when the energy works. Then that's when you become a creator. That's when you become a more than just a regular figure. You become millionaire. It takes intention to do those things. It takes intention to be a millionaire. It takes intention to be a billionaire. But guess what? Your intentions have to be aligned with getting to the right opportunity at every single time you can, right?
Yeah. One of the things I like about that scripture is it says you don't know which one is going to succeed. And I think that you got to really trust the Bible and trust the wisdom that's in the Bible, even if you can't necessarily see the results. And this is one of the things that I learned a long time ago, is there's a lot of principles that might not make sense to you, but like if you lean on them, you get the success that might not be revealed to you in the scripture. And so I always talk about, like, in the Bible, it talks about fornication. And a lot of folks are like, oh, well, I'm not worried about that. I'm going to fornicate anyway. But you don't. A lot of the reason why a lot of folks are struggling in the dating market, struggling trying to find somebody, is because they out here engaged in sex before marriage.
Yeah.
A lot of people who have kids with people they can't stand because they had sex before they had marriage. Or even, like it says, don't get drunk with alcohol. A lot of people are like, I'm not worried about that. I'm going to get drunk. And then you end up, a lot of people who are in really, really bad situations, it happens because they're drunk with alcohol. But the Bible doesn't tell you don't drink with alcohol because you're going to F your whole life up. It just says don't drink alcohol. And so folks are like, well, the God trying to keep me from something, so I'm going to just ignore that because I want to live my life, free will, whatever that looks like. And so with this scripture, it says you don't know which one is going to succeed. And a lot of people out there, they want to move when they know it's going to succeed. And so they never do anything.
You're never going to know.
You got to engage in the act of sowing. The habit of sowing, the habit is not finding the best stock. The habit is not finding the perfect opportunity that's not going to fail. The habit is sowing. And if you get into the habit of sowing, of investing, of putting things out there, some of those are going to succeed, and they're going to succeed beyond your wildest dreams. And now you're looking pretty. One of the questions I have for you, though, is before Warren Buffett's principles, what were you doing to find your trades? Like, what did your strategy look like before then?
My strategy, well, when I was in college, they was giving us free Wall Street journals. So I was, when you read and you read and you read, these people are pushing these things. So you have to start to develop your own mindset and get into your group. Charles has a group. Todd Capital has a group right now. And if you're not in that group, you need to be in that group because they talk about these investments every single day. And guess what? Every single day it changes. Mm-hmm. What you read yesterday may not be relevant for today because the topic changes, the needle moves. So you need to make sure that you're in these groups. So I focused on reading, how can I get the best investment for my dollar, or how can I do it the best? And really, that's the worst mindset to have, because you're always going to start at the bottom. You're not going to be able to do it the best, but you can pay people. This is what the word says also. Sow into the prophet, and you'll receive the prophet's reward. When you sow into the prophet, all of us are prophets in our own right. Like right now, you're a person that does options, so you know about options. There's a person right now that sings and they know about singing. Guess what? If you pay them for their services, you'll receive that reward. So a lot of people don't want to pay. A lot of people don't want to pay. They don't want to sow the seed. And guess what? They end up losing on the opportunity that can really change their life. And when I read that, man, I got out of my own way. I said, you know what? I'm buying this man's service. I'm buying this man's service. I'm buying this man's service. I don't care how much it costs because I want what they have. If I want what they have, I got to get outside of my own self and get what you got. You know what I'm saying? So I got to pay you in order to be like you. I want to study your mannerisms. I want to study who you are, So if I want to get to your spot, I got to do that. And that's when it broke for me. Like, okay, I don't care. I want the Neo Davis stuff. I want to your stuff. You know, I'm in your mastermind, and that's because you're an aspiring figure. So I have to actually align myself with the things that you're doing.
Yeah.
Same. It's the same way over. It's the same way over many different avenues. You know, if you want to be the best singer, or if you want to be the top notch investor, go to the best investors. Get into their program. I mean, this program is what 99. Man, what?
Yeah.
There's somebody take this knowledge that I gave them today and multiply it into thousands of dollars.
Yep.
Why wouldn't I?
So for those who don't know, we are running a challenge right now. It's Monday. There's still 4 more days left in the challenge. If you do join today, you can get the replay of today and you can catch up and you can follow along with us Tuesday through Friday. But $99, y'all. You can't beat $99. You're gonna give $99 to Nike. You're gonna give
Yeah.
$99 to Olive Garden. You might as well give $99 to your future. But what's
To,
interesting
to
is
learn about the U.S. stock market, the U.S. stock options market.
what's
I'm,
interesting
I'm
is I think it's important. One of the principles that you outlined is a mistake that a lot of people make, and mistakes are expensive, y'all.
yeah,
Mistakes are expensive. I've seen
yeah,
people thousands off a mistake when you can invest $100 on the front end to avoid those mistakes. But what's important is that he said that a lot of these things that are being talked about on CNBC, talked about in the Wall Street Journals, are being promoted to you. And I've seen these things come and go, but as they were coming, a lot of new investors were buying into it. They were feeding into the hype. And so one of the most recent one was the SPACs. A lot of people were buying into SPACs, and a lot of those SPACs crashed, and they're just not doing really well right now. Another thing that these IPOs that they're selling you. I always tell people that IPO is the true investor's exit strategy. And so we've seen a lot of IPO hype come to the market, people promoting it, they're talking about it, Airbnb,
yeah,
Uber, whatever the IPOs were, and they would boom and they would bust,
yeah,
continue to fall even more. Robinhood failed IPO. A bunch of failed IPOs out there that were just so overvalued because the initial investors wanted to cash out. So when you guys see Nas and you see all these rappers making this money, they're making their money selling their money on the stock market, not necessarily buying the stocks as they become available. They already bought in as a VC investor, or like a seed investor. That's how they're making their money. And so this is important because I don't want you guys to make that mistake. And a lot of people make that mistake as they're new investors. They're hearing this company is going to be the next biggest thing. This is what's coming. It takes a lot of time for a company to be the next big thing. It took Tesla 10 years to get where it is now, and it's still not fully mature. I remember back in the day, Tesla was overlooked. Amazon has at one point in time been overlooked. People said, why would you want to buy things online when I can go to the store? And now they're the second biggest company in the world. And so
oh
those are
yeah,
the I think are really important is tapping into people who have been doing this for a while. Jerry's been doing this for 15 years. I've probably been doing it for about 15 years too. Yeah, probably about 15, maybe a little bit less, like 13 years. Like I've been in this space, in this stock market space, in this investing space for 13 years. I started as a financial advisor, became a private client banker, ultimately ended up working for a family office. And Jerry is actually a certified financial educator. Like this dude is certified to teach this stuff. The information that he's bringing to you guys, the slides, all this stuff is high quality information. And so it's not some rinky dink, threw it together on Google or whatever it looks like. It's a professional presentation. He invested money to be qualified to teach this information to people. He just needed a larger platform. And so I'm bringing this brother to you because he needs the exposure, because he's brilliant. He has the knowledge. He has the certification. You guys are going to benefit tremendously. There's a lot of people on the internet teaching folks who only been doing this for a year. They don't even
yeah,
know in a bear market. They don't even know what to do when inflation is high. They never even seen a recession. All they've seen was a recovery. And a recovery is way different than a recession. A recovery is way different than what we're seeing right now. So you got to be with somebody who's seen all the cycles, because the strategy changes for every cycle. It's not the same
it
strategy.
does. It does. It changes very much. You know, I remember in 2014 when oil started to crash. I remember in 2020 when oil started to crash, and that was the reason why the markets tanked. But everybody thought it was because of COVID. It was because of oil. You know, and people were like, "No, it's because of COVID." No, it's because of oil. If you see oil, oil is at negative $40.
I remember that.
You know,
I
you
remember
know,
that.
those are the different things that you tend to see when you're. And you know, those are the different things that you tend to pick up. And that's why I said, man, your group is so good right now, because these are, you know, primarily African Americans is talking about investing, you know, from the perspective of you know, a broader market. So always keep a group. I think I talked about that today. Keep a group or keep a team together, so it'll get you investing in the right mindset. You know, these are old theories that you're not going to find right now because they're in old books. You got to realize that the new theories that people come up with right now are theories that's been developed over the last 2 years. So they got their psychology and their thinking over the last 2 years. But the last 2 years have been great years for
Yeah.
investing.
Yeah.
I'm talking about great years for investing.
So
But
make this a long live, but can you quickly tell the people why they need to join the Make Better Trade Challenge, what they're going to learn, what they're going to take away, and also how they can participate?
I mean, look at it. You can, if you spend $100, there's there's no way that you're going to spend $100, then get three investors, three investors on the line for 5 days. $100, where you're in the same room, you're learning stuff from 15 years. I'm talking about knowledge that's been amassed for 15 years. You're When you sow into the profit, you receive the profit's reward. First of all, you're going to get in that room. You're going to learn everything that we know. We're going to expose it to you. We're going to give you an edge that you can operate with. Then on top of that, we're going to give you a Facebook group where you can start to talk to other people to develop a conversation around trading. We already have that all set up. So for $100, Jesus, I wish
Yeah.
I back then. You know, I wish somebody told me $100, man. I would have paid. Really, we should raise the price.
Price going up.
Yeah,
If you
we
the
really.
price every single day, price going up. So if you get in today, price going up tomorrow, up tomorrow, up tomorrow. It's always going up.
And we want it to be intimate. We want it to be intimate. So we're probably going to limit spots here in a few. I don't know if we're going to do this next week or the week after that, or continue the challenge. But I guarantee you, if we ever do it again, it's probably going to be more like 1,000. You know,
Yeah,
because
got to get
our,
sick people.
we want to value our time. You know, we're the type of people where we want to value our time. And I mean, I'm taking time out of my trading day where I could be making thousands of dollars to teach you guys how to trade. You know, because I want to do this. I'm an educator, so I want to do this. I feel like I have to give back, but I don't have to. You understand? And for sure, he doesn't have to. You know, so we're just trying to give back the most that we can. Well, for $100, you can make sure that you learn how to trade. You can get into that Facebook group, start to ask questions, and then on top of that, you're going to receive the bare knuckle bones of trading and investing. That's probably gonna bring back $100 that same day. The other day, I made 100% on $100. And that's just because I wanted to put it in because I was running at the time. I just said, you know what? I ain't even gonna be able to pay attention to it, but I'm gonna throw that $100 in the market and just run because I had to run. So I ran, and I looked back, and it ended up being like almost 200% up. Crazy money.
Yeah,
It's crazy
it's
money in the markets.
it's a ton of opportunity, but I always tell people that if price is expensive, the price of mistakes is even more expensive. The
It
price
is.
of time is even more expensive. The price of not having access to people who do this is even more expensive. You can talk to your homeboys all you want, but your homeboys, not only have they not become successful, like probably in life, I'm sorry, but they probably haven't become successful in stock market investing either. And so we're really giving this away. Hopefully you guys take advantage of it. I know some smart people are going to take advantage of this. We've had a bunch of people who have already joined, some people who have been loyal supporters of the brand. So I'm seeing some familiar names out there. They get a chance to interact with us, ask us questions, send the DMs. A lot of y'all be sending DMs, but you more than likely going to get a DM if you invest into the profit. Because then they have an invested interest in you. Like anybody who invests in me, I feel like I work for them at that point. I'm putting
Yeah.
all my energy behind them at that point to not only see that they succeed in terms of like coaching and mentoring, but like in real life and the things that they're doing, I'm going to be putting all my effort, all my resources behind them to make sure that they win. It's only going to be a limited time to take advantage of this offer, and the price is going up. We may or may not bring it back. If you do join today, you will still get access to the recording of the call that we had today that was over an hour long. I think it might have been like an hour and 30 minutes. It was a very lengthy call, just filled with content, filled with details. And yeah, we just continue to do our part. That's all. We just want to see everybody win, but we want to make sure that you want to win. And if you aren't willing to invest $100 into yourself, I don't know if you really got what it takes, because it takes $100 in gas just to get to work to be broke.
Man.
So with that, I'll go ahead and get on out of here. We will save this live. It'll probably even be uploaded as a podcast and put onto the YouTube channel, because that's just what we do around here, adding value, world 10x omnipresence. Make sure you guys follow the brother Jerry. Make sure you guys shoot him a DM. Make sure you click that link in the bio, www.makebettertrade.com, because all we're going to do is just take it to the next level.
We about to take this to the next level.
I would say if you don't get back the money that you invested into this program the very next week, then we failed. But I know that you're going to get it. So if you don't get the money back that very next week, I'll give you your money back. If you sit through all 5 days of this conversation, if you do the work that we tell you to do, if you reach out if you have questions, and you don't make your money back that very next week, I'll give it back to you.
That's crazy, bro.
www.makebettertrade.com. Charles Oaksby, awesome as top millionaire, with the brother Jerry, all the way from the East Coast, and we out.